playoffs. In contrast, the Knicks opponent, the Boston Celtics, the team that has won 16 NBA titles. Playoff success has been a yearly routine. The same is true with this year's team, as the Celtics have their eye on another championship trophy. The question is, does a team where half the players have no playoff experience stand a chance against a successful veteran Boston squad? Could the Celtics perhaps be caught looking beyond the Knicks? The answers are forthcoming as the Knicks and the Celtics get the playoffs underway. McHale putting the move on Green. And the Celtics down by one, 15-14.
See, the strength was there. They held McHale from going in, but no one put their hands up to bother him shooting.
Ewing getting position. Walker. Here's Walker. A beautiful shot extending over Bird. And the Knicks lead by 3.
Own shot, and the second-year player out of Kentucky gets his 4th point. The Knicks again by 3.
It's important that Walker gets off. That's a nice way to do it on a rebound. He had missed 3 open jumpers to that point.
Parrish. A little too strong with that jumper. Gets his own rebound. Missed the follow-up. Larry Bird. Over Walker. Well, the Celtics can't get anything to fall for him early. Another New York rebound. They can open up a 5-point lead. Patrick Ewing. Nope. Walker. Nope. No whistle under there. Ewing gets another rebound off to Jackson, and this time we do get the whistle. We're getting an offensive foul call.
Nice call by Paul Mihalik. That's the toughest call to call in any division, and he just made the right call.
So the Celtics get it back, trailing by 3. And the turnover gives it to the New York Knicks.
You know, Casey Jones, his coaching style, he's probably the best in the league at identifying mismatches and going to them. Now, the big guys aren't the only ones that are going to be posted. The guards also can be posted.
Green to Ewing. Ewing operating in heavy traffic through the foul.
That's a big
6 points.
When you look at another great center, Olajuwon, he has trouble at the free throw line, and that really does hurt his overall game.
The Knicks leading by 5. A little over 4 minutes to go, first quarter. Danny Ainge gets it down to Larry Bird. Bird operating against Walker.
Oh, man, what a shot. Fantastic shot by Bird.
4 points for Larry Bird, a 3-point New York lead. Wilkins to Walker to Jackson. Sidney Green over McHale. Green with his first 2 of the night. And the Knicks maintaining that 5-point bulge over the Celtics early. Down to McHale. He loves to operate down there, but he loses the ball to Wilkins. And the Knicks can open up their biggest lead. Jackson to Wilkins. His baseline jumper is good.
There's that open court shot that we were talking about again. The Knicks must convert in the open court if they're going to win this series.
Gerald Wilkins now with 8 points. New York has opened up a 7-point lead. The Boston Celtics want to talk about it. Calling a timeout with 3:11.
The Hawks had better be careful with the Bucks. They are a veteran playoff team. They do have the ability to turn it up a notch, and that's going to be a very interesting series to watch.
Celtics with only 5 seconds left in the shot clock. Good New York defense. Jackson has his length of the court pass intercepted though by Danny Ainge. Dennis Johnson wide open.
That's the shot he's going to have to make in this series, the open jumper. If the Knicks are going to give something, it's going to be Dennis Johnson's open jump shot.
Johnson has 4. The Knicks lead is a 5-point lead with 2.5 minutes to go opening quarter. Wilkins, who's had a hot hand early.
There's Dennis Johnson drawing the foul. He's one of the best in the league at drawing a foul. I'm not sure that he was hit too hard, but he has the ability to draw the attention to himself by giving a good acting job. And there you see it, that he did it again.
Trent Tucker has checked into the New York lineup, and Bill Cartwright has also checked in. Now you will see we got an illegal defense that's been called there.
One of the ways to attack the Knicks and Mark Jackson would be to post him up. You see Dennis Johnson has him in the low box right now, and they would like to go to him, either score or get him in foul trouble.
Parrish now has 6.
They drew the double team that time, and they made the proper pass.
A 3-point lead for New York, a little over 2 minutes to go. Walker back to Jackson. He's going to try another 3-pointer. This one won't go for him. Kevin McHale clears for the Celtics, gets it off to Johnson. Parrish in the paint. Loses the ball to Jackson. Oh, he's all over the place, this guy. Mark
That
Jackson.
was great backflow by Jackson to pick that dribble up.
So is that man, Larry Bird, all over the place.
You wouldn't think he'd be as quick as Jackson, but he anticipates better than anybody in the game today.
McHale over Green. Kevin McHale beginning to warm up. He has 6 points. It's a 1-point New York lead now with 1:20 remaining in the opening quarter. Celtics have pulled back to within a point here with 1:18 to go.
Taking a look now at Cedric Toney. He's going to give Jackson a bit of a rest here. He doesn't play a lot of minutes, but I think he was a nice pickup by El Bianchi.
He's going to try one from 3, and he hits it.
You know,
Cedric
the Knicks are shooting the 3-point shot as much as anybody in the game right now. And I think it's because they're not real good shooters from mid-range. So Patino thought we might as well shoot the longer one. We get awarded about 30% more if we make it, and it's a longer rebound possibility.
Robert Parrish with the tip for his 8th point. It's 26-24, a 2-point New York lead. 44 seconds left to go, opening quarter. Toney working the backcourt now with Tucker. Cartwright, who at times will be on the court at the same time as Patrick Ewing, and Cedric Toney has come off the bench. Well, the second-year player out of Dayton, 2 3-pointers, 29-24.
2 big 3-point shots for the New York Knicks. Again, when they get in a half-court game, they've got to make that outside shot.
Larry Bird has been unable to warm up, but Kevin McHale follows. McHale has 8. 29-26 New York. They'll play for a final shot here with 17 seconds to go in the first quarter. Jim Paxson in there now for the Celtics.
This is a 1-4 set, and Toney should be able to beat Paxton. Now Boston had a foul to give, and they took it there.
So charge Paxson with his first. Now there's only 5 seconds remaining.
That being in the bonus allowed them to foul, and it stopped the momentum of the Knicks. Now they have 5 seconds to inbound and score. We'll see if they can do it.
Johnny Newman is checked in to inbounds the ball, gets it to Cartwright to Toney. 3 seconds. Let's see if he can get the shot away. Nope. Time had expired, but the New York Knicks got an instant pickup from Cedric Toney.
Yes, both he and Pat Riley, who coach, of course, the best 2 teams in the league, never really get the recognition that they deserve, because everybody expects their team to win. But Casey Jones had a handle on that last play. He knew that he had a foul to give. He gave it, and as a result, the Knicks did not get a good shot opportunity off.
The New York Knicks have called a timeout. I'm not sure if this is
away at those bad boys from Detroit. It's the NBA playoffs. Live at 8:05 Eastern on the Superstation tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the best. Superstation TBS at the
Sports are unpredictable.
They weren't ready for it. They had to call a timeout or lose the ball.
Johnny Newman working with Cedric Toney. Pat Cummings also on the court now, along with Trent Tucker and Bill Cartwright for the Knicks. Cartwright working against Artis Gilmore.
Oh, what a strong move, Pete. That is really a strong move, and we are going to need a great performance out of Cartwright if the Knicks are going to have a chance in this series. That was a strong move.
New York by 4. Just underway with quarter number 2. Paxson working with Ainge in the backcourt. Fred Roberts, Gilmore, and Bird also out there for Boston. Larry Bird.
You know, I really think that Paxson is going to help this ball club through the playoffs. He's a nice addition because they need shooters. They need somebody to rest both their guards, and I think Paxson is the right guy.
Cummings on the 3rd effort. His first 2 of the night.
Patrick has been playing extremely well in the last several weeks of the season. He feels healthy, and he could be a good contributor.
That trapping defense. Bird gets rid of it to Roberts, and Roberts putting the shot up over Cummings. The basket's good, and the foul will be on Cummings.
That's Patrick. He's slow of foot. He has a hard time in the open court. You see Roberts driving around him to his left hand. He thought Roberts was going to go right if he drove at all, but he tricked him a little bit. He went to his left and drew the foul.
First trip to the line by any Celtic tonight. Fred Roberts, a 78% free throw shooter. As a team, Boston shoots out with 10:45 remaining in the first half.
There aren't many teams, Pete, that shoot 50% or over from the field and 80% from the line. And, of course, the Celtics have done that this year, and that is some feat.
Danny Ainge not at all pleased about that call. It's his second personal.
It is getting very physical inside right now.
Cartwright lobbing it cross court to Newman. Tony trying from three-point territory again. It'll be Boston's ball. Tony hit 2 of those in the first quarter.
He certainly did, and as I said, the Knicks are shooting the three-pointer more than anybody right now.
Paxson working against Tucker. That is the first on Tucker.
As you can see, Casey Jones sees a mismatch. He sees Johnny Newman trying to guard Larry Bird. So what happens? Bird goes right down into the low post and takes advantage of that mismatch.
Now McHale takes over for Gilmore. Paxson had the ball tipped away, but another foul by 1.
And look who's pressing who. The Celtics are in a full court press against the Knicks. We expected the turnaround on that one.
Mark Jackson back in the game for New York. Gets it to Cartwright. You're seeing that Twin Towers concept now with Cartwright and Ewing on the court at the same time.
And there again was Patrick Ewing's great up fake. He drew the defense and scored.
New York by 1, 9:50 remaining. Ewing now has 8 points. Minifield working against Jackson. Paxson with the open jumper. Won't go for him. Rebound pulled away by Cartwright.
I am so impressed with Cartwright. He's really playing well right now. He's passing, scoring, and rebounding.
Finally was able to stay away from the injury jinx this year. Ewing was trying to get it to Cartwright and knew immediately that it wasn't going to work.
That was a learned play. I could see that setting up right now. Ewing was trying to draw the double team, and they knew they were coming from the weak side. They tried to get the ball to Cartwright, but he missed the pass.
Knicks now guilty of 7 turnovers. Boston has committed 4. We're liable to see a lot of turnovers in this game. New York commits a lot, and they also force a lot with their pressing defense. Minifield.
Nice bounce from Minnie. He needed that. Maybe that'll get him on track right now.
Boston has the lead back by 1 with 9 minutes to go first half.
I'll tell you something interesting is to see Casey go to his bench as quickly as he has, and he's already played about 9 people.
Kevin McHale got belted in the left eye, it looked like. The foul called on McHale.
Here's Cartwright again. What a factor he is inside. He's played in all 82 games this year, and he had been injured on and off with that bad foot for the last 2 or 3 years.
That was the first foul called against McHale. Don and I will be selecting the Miller Lite player of the game. Game 1 in the best-of-5 series from Boston. Minifield to Larry Bird. Bird not able to get that hot hand going yet. New York doing a good job on the boards.
There's Cartwright again on the glass. He's really playing big right now.
Ewing over McHale. Patrick Ewing now with 10 points. And the Knicks on a 2-point lead.
You know, when you talk about an inside game, who's to say that the 2 players, big players that the Knicks have in the game right now are not as good as Boston's big players? I certainly wouldn't say it.
Paxson got around Tucker. Ewing slaps it away. And a 3-on-2 New York break. Jackson had that ball hang up on his hip. But it'll still be New York's ball.
That was great hands by Dirk Minifield. Oh, here it is right now. Watch Minnie reach in and bat that ball away. He has a great set of hands on him.
Jackson. Newman. His first effort of the night won't fall for him. Larry Bird, the rebound for Boston. Boston can tie it up here. Paxson. Artis Gilmore back out to Minifield. Nice pass underneath to Larry Bird.
Dirk Minifield is really helping this ball able again to give rest to Dennis Johnson. I think that's important for a long playoff.
Bird now with 8 points. Ewing against Gilmore. Nice drop off to Jackson. Jackson couldn't get the basket to fall, but he drew the foul.
You know, Patrick Ewing has come so far in his game, and passing is just one of the many things that he's learned to do a lot better than when he came out and has turned his franchise around. What a young man.
A 2-point New York lead. Dennis Johnson with Trent Tucker all over him. Tucker finally called for the foul.
And you can see again how clever Dennis Johnson is in drawing that foul. He sees that he's playing him tight. He takes advantage of it. He fakes, no call, and then all of a sudden he draws the foul by getting the attention of the referee.
Johnson bumped as he went through the lane by Cartwright.
You know, when we talk about Dennis Johnson, I think he's probably one of the most underrated players in the
points now for Johnson. And we're tied at 39 with 7 minutes to go in the first half. Trent Tucker. McHale picks him up. And an illegal D called now against the Celtics.
Yes, that was a good call. They were sagging on the weak side a little bit too much, but Boston has increased its half-court pressure on the Knicks. That's very interesting. They normally play behind the big guys. They're fronting the big guys inside. See the front by McHale? And there's the illegal defense on the weak side.
Newman from 3-point territory. Way short. Ball kept alive, and Cartwright picks it off the floor. Only 5 seconds on the shot clock. Newman hit that one. His first 2 of the night. And the Knicks are back on top by 2.
The Knicks are not a good outside shooting team. It is very important that they consistently make that open shot.
Paxson through the lane.
Oh, there's that contribution by Jimmy Paxson that I thought would happen. He is really going to be a nice pickup for the Boston Celtics.
We're tied at 41. Paxson now with 4. Johnny Newman sends it across to Jackson. Patrick Ewing lost it, got it back. Set the pick for Jackson, who goes in for the layup and had it blocked by McHale. Patrick Ewing had it blocked by Gilmore.
Oh, there's some
kind
big
of defense there.
There's some big-time action going on under that basket.
Paxson back outside to Johnson. Dennis Johnson is going to be called for carrying the ball. New York gets it back.
Oh, here's the 2 blocks. We missed one. There's the other one right there with Artis Gilmore reaching back, gaining something that he had several years ago, and bringing it back into the playoffs.
Larry Bird back in there now as Gilmore sits down. 5.5 minutes to go. We're tied at 41 in the first half. Ewing against Akers, who's in there now for the Celtics. Ewing wanted the foul called against Akers, didn't get it. Akers with the rebound off to Dennis Johnson. Mark Akers out of Oral Roberts. The Celtics are beginning to warm up, Don.
Yes, Jimmy Paxson moving without the ball. He's playing with a great team with ball movement. There's no better passing team than the Celtics.
A 2-point lead for Boston. Wilkins, who had a good first quarter. It's his first attempt here in the second quarter. He has 10 points. We're tied at 43. 4:50 left in the first half. Celtics players saying before this game the way to beat the New York defense is with short, crisp passes. Larry Bird tripped up his second in the leg to Jack Sickman. Free throw percentage this year.
Here's some full court action now by the Celtics, surprising the Knicks again.
Boston up by 2 with 4:25 to go in the first half. Wilkins. And we're going to have a technical foul now as Boston is called for its second illegal defense.
Another good call by
44 margin. Wilkins with 11 points after he hit that technical foul.
What a terrific job Casey Jones has done getting the players in early so they're not afraid if they get in late.
Ball goes back to Boston. Danny Ainge checks in, replacing Jim Paxson. A little over 4 minutes to go in the first half. Boston up by a point. Van Wert and Don Nelson with you from the Boston Garden. These same 2 teams on Sunday And then the series moves to Madison Square Garden. The Knicks, of course, would love to get out of Boston with one win. McHale. Boy, he is murdered down low.
We talk about great up fakes that Ewing has. There's another one that's certainly just as good, maybe even better.
Celtics now by 3. Gerald Wilkins giving it to Patrick Ewing. Bird all over him again. Ewing still gets the shot away. It won't go, and Bird gets the rebound. He's everywhere, isn't he?
He really is. He's some player.
Parrish working on Ewing. Nope. There's another rebound for Bill Cartwright. Off to Gerald Wilkins. Cross court it goes, and he was on the line. I think he was.
There's a mistake by a young player. Another year or two in the league, and he'll never make that mistake, not knowing where he is at all times on the court. Stepped out of bounds just before that shot.
3:12 the time left.
Here's something interesting. The points inside in the paint. Boston has 28, New York 12.
Big shots that seem impossible. He now has 12 on the night, and Boston has opened up its biggest lead, a 5-point advantage.
Just what I thought. This is going to be a very physical series. It's already getting physical inside.
They keep going down to Ewing, who keeps getting double and triple teamed. Long 3-point effort by Newman, no good. We're going to get a loose ball foul call against the Celtics.
NBA action, it's fantastic.
Well, here are tonight's Honda leaders, brought to you by Honda, makers of CRX, Civic, Accord, and Prelude. Test drive one at your local Honda dealer today. Don, it's always good when you can have a leader in the field goal shooting percentage. When you got the top 2, that's really saying something, like the Celtics have.
Yes, there he is.
Wilkins comes up with a loose ball.
There's great hustle by the Knicks.
New York down by 5. Every time Ewing gets the ball, he has 2 people on him. And Cedric Toney, who came off the bench in the first quarter to hit 2 3-pointers, has hit his 3rd 3 of the night to make it a 2-point game.
You know, Pete, not only are the Celtics surprised by that, but I'm surprised to see the range that Cedric Toney has. I didn't know he had that kind of range.
Ewing giving it over to Cedric Toney. See if they can tie it up here.
Bird draws the charge again. That is amazing. The anticipation of this young man is second to nobody that I've ever seen play the game.
2 minutes remaining in the quarter.
Paxson back in the lineup for Boston, gives it over to McHale.
There you
Celtics
see,
up by 2.
You see Dennis Johnson in the low post again, trying to take advantage of that mismatch. There's nobody better than the Celtics at mismatches.
That's called against Cedric Toney, his 2nd. A minute 49 to go in the half. The Knicks have held their own here at the Garden, trailing by 2.
It is really an exciting ball game. I'm telling you, the New York fans must be all
4 out of 4 from the line. He has 8 points all told. And the Celtics have a 4-point lead. A little over a minute 40 remaining. Cedric Toney working against Johnson. Getting the ball to Ewing. Goes around Parrish. Green follows.
Well, there's a
4 for Sidney Green.
There's a big-time move by Patrick Ewing. He missed a shot, but it was really some move that he made. And Green there on the outside for the rebound.
Johnson against the pressure of Cedric Toney, with Boston on top by 2. Larry Bird. And the Celtics turn it over. Well, New York get right back in it now.
Yes, they are. They're going to have a good chance here to go ahead by halftime, which would be a big feather in their cap.
Cedric Toney working against Dennis Johnson, gives it off to Newman. But the Knicks turn it over. And Larry Bird gives it off to Dennis Johnson. To Robert Parrish. Parrish open from right of the lane. He has 10. Celtics by 4. Less than a minute to play in the first half. A travel. Another Knick turnover.
Well, if there's one player I've noticed that seems to be a little bit nervous, it's probably Johnny Newman. I think he's going to have to get an easy basket or two before he relaxes.
Stay tuned for the Prudential halftime report. Craig Sager will be along with all of the NBA playoff news, plus Roy S. Johnson's choices for the NBA awards coming up at halftime, which is 35 seconds away. Wilkins. Gerald Wilkins has had a good first half. He has 13.
Yeah, I don't think he's too nervous about this playoff atmosphere.
I don't think anybody named Wilkins in this league ever is.
He better have a little talk, I think, with Johnny Newman. What do you think?
53-51 Boston. 25 seconds remaining. Dennis Johnson working against Cedric Toney. They're using up some of that clock. And they lose the ball to New York. Now with 11 seconds left, New York can get a final shot and maybe tie this thing up going to halftime. Wilkins had it tipped away by Paxson, gets it back, puts it up over Parrish. It's short. Bird pulls away the rebound, and the Knicks will go to the locker room down by 2. It's been a good first half here at the Boston Garden.
On the postseason awards.
In about 2 months, the NBA will finally crown its new team champion, but several individuals will also be recognized during that time for their contributions to this season. Those awards were voted on by 80 sports writers and broadcasters, some of whom poured over pages of notes and statistics, while others voted with their hearts. These are one-man selections for those awards. Let's begin with the six-man award. 3 players stood out this season for their contributions off the bench. Portland's Kiki Vandeweghe missed much of the season with a back injury, but came back to provide some valuable offense off the bench for the Portland Trail Blazers. Thurl Bailey should probably be a starter, but his efforts gave Frank Layden the intention of leaving him as a reserve for the entire season. But the man who stood out the most as a reserve this year was Roy Tarpley of the Dallas Mavericks. The 7-footer in his second year in the league finished 7th in rebounding with 11.8 average. It doesn't hurt that he has a great first name. The year might be remembered as the year of the improved player. Several players outdid the statistics that they managed last season and proved to be significant players for 1988. Kevin Duckworth of Portland, Jerome Kersey, his teammate, were 2 of the most significant contributors who improved from last season. Frank Burkowski at San Antonio gave the Spurs reason to believe that once they receive David Robinson, they'll be in fine shape in the middle. Byron Scott of the Lakers improved to become their leading scorer, and Mark Price at Cleveland is one of the most capable playmakers in the league. But this award, in my estimation, goes to John Stockton of Utah, who improved his statistics significantly, especially in assists and scoring, to lead the Utah Jazz to one of their best seasons under Frank Layden. Defensive Player of the Year is one of the most difficult awards to hand out because there are very few statistics that you can use to determine who should win. Some people look at block shots, and that is why players like Mark Eaton, Patrick Ewing, and Akeem Olajuwon will figure into the balloting. But this year, the award can only go to one man. It's the man who perhaps made the most flashy appearances on the offensive end of the floor, but he was a terror on the defensive end, too. Michael Jordan led the league in steals and made some coaches say it's bad enough that they have to deal with him on one end, but they also have to deal with him on the defensive end, too. Coach of the Year. It was once said that the difference between the college game and the pro game was that the college game was for coaches and the NBA was significantly a player's game. While that is certainly true, coaches have had much more of an impact on the fortunes of their teams. Coaches like Frank Layden, Mike Schuler, Wes Unseld, Rick Pitino, Lenny Wilkins have all had significant contributions to their teams. But it'll probably come down to 2 men, Doug Moe and Pat Riley. My vote goes to Riley because he began coaching this season at the end of last year when he all but guaranteed that the Lakers would win the title. You also have to be a psychologist as well as a strategist. Forget Rookie of the Year, it'll be a runaway. Mark Jackson of the Knicks should be a unanimous choice. Scottie Pippen and Derek McKee made significant contributions, as did Greg Anderson, but nothing along the likes of Jackson. Finally, MVP became a 3-man race this year rather than a 2-man race. Larry Bird had one of his best seasons, while Magic Johnson slipped off just a bit for the Lakers. But the man who stepped ahead of both of them on this ballot is Michael Jordan. Not only did he lead the league in scoring, but he showed tremendous skills on the defensive end, and without him, well, the Chicago Bulls would be the Clippers. There are some awards you definitely won't see in your local papers. The Baltimore Orioles award goes to Dallas rookie Steve Alford, who came into the league saying he had a hit list of people who doubted his skills. Well, he played in only 28 games and 197 minutes. The So You Thought the Grass Was Greener award goes to Mike Jaminski, who was traded from the New Jersey Nets to the Philadelphia 76ers, only to find that life was just as miserable down the turnpike. And finally, the Joe DiMaggio award, well, where have you gone, Gerald Wilkins?
Valuable player goes to Michael Jordan, but there are a lot of people who will be voting for Larry Bird.
Well, the third quarter is underway. Jackson bringing the ball down for New York against Danny Ainge. Kenny Walker can't get it to fall for him, and the Celtics control the first rebound as Parrish pulls it away. Parrish, Johnson, Ainge, Bird, and McHale on the court for the Celtics. Jackson, Wilkins, Ewing, Green, and Walker for the Knicks. Danny Ainge. Down to McHale. Ainge along the baseline. Dishes off to Larry Bird. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Good defense by New York. Larry Bird forces his way through it and gets his own rebound. 14 for Bird.
What a play, huh? That guy is just amazing, almost everything he does.
A 4-point Boston lead. Third quarter just underway. Mark Jackson. Gerald Wilkins had a hot hand first half. Ewing, as usual, has 3 people on him. Doesn't matter. 12 for Ewing.
I tell you, his moves are so smooth inside. Somebody's been doing a great job. The coaching staff deserves a lot of credit working with Patrick Ewing.
A 2-point Boston lead in the first minute of quarter number 3. Larry Bird came up short. Another New York rebound. Jackson takes it himself. 7 points for Mark Jackson.
You're going to have to be a man to play inside in this game. It is going to be physical, and the refs are letting them play.
And we're all tied up with 10.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Ainge sends it back outside to Johnson. Down to 6 seconds left to shoot it. Kevin McHale will, and Kevin McHale gets fouled.
Now that particular play, it's really not the fault of the inside defender. When you allow the ball to swing easily across the top, McHale just had him sealed and it went right in. The low post game for the Boston Celtics are second to none in the league.
Sidney Green called for his second foul, and McHale makes his free throw. He's an 80% free throw shooter. He now has 13 in the game. A 3-point Boston lead. Away from the ball, Earl Strom has a whistle. It's called on McHale.
Look at this physical play inside. You see the pull on Ewing's arm by McHale, and that's where the foul occurred.
So New York inbounds it. Jackson to Walker. Over to Wilkins. It was a 2-pointer. Gerald Wilkins now with 15.
The New York Knicks are not a good outside shooting team percentage-wise. They have shot the ball extremely well tonight.
Boston by 1. McHale down low over Green, over Ewing. Rebound Parrish. And Robert Parrish has 12. A 3-point Boston lead.
Parrish had the inside track because Ewing went for the block shot there.
Green over McHale. Dennis Johnson controls for the Celtics, off to Ainge. Celtics can open that lead back up to 5. Ainge all the way. Wouldn't go for him. Ewing taps it out to Jackson. Knicks have a 2-on-1. Jackson will take it himself over Johnson. Won't go, but Sidney Green is there with a follow.
You don't have to worry about not having good hands if you dunk them like that, do you? That was a nice finish by Green.
It is a 1-point Boston lead with 9.
And Boston calling for timeout. Appeared to be a 20-second timeout. That was the call as we take another look at the Knick break.
Knicks are making things happen now, but they're happening when they're moving, and they're getting a lot done when they're in motion, and that's what the Knicks wanted, as we said at the beginning. They wanted
the form in Los Angeles to bring you that one. Here it's Boston by 1. Look at that pass by Bird to Parrish, but he couldn't get the basket to fall for him. Ewing the rebound for New York. New York can take the lead. Green tried to hit Ewing underneath. Missed connections.
Pass wasn't perfect, but boy, Bird certainly was. It was just fumbled by Parrish, but what a great basketball play.
A 1-point Boston lead, 8.5 minutes remaining, third quarter. Bird with Walker on him, down to Johnson. Ewing comes over to help out. Johnson trapped along that baseline, had his pass, bounce off the backboard. Wilkins Takes it himself and hits his 17th point.
Another open court score by the Knicks. They're very good in the transition game tonight.
The New York Knicks have taken a 1-point lead. Larry Bird has not been as hot as Larry Bird normally is from that range. And the Knicks can now open up a 3-point lead. Jackson directing traffic. He plays with the poise of a veteran out there. You never know he was in his first year in the league. Although that turnover gives it back to Boston. Dennis Johnson going into the heavy traffic and drawing the foul.
There's a big against Boston. You're going to see Cummings and Cartwright be big factors.
Boston back on top. They have not missed a free throw tonight. They're 12 out of 12 from the line. 7.5 minutes to go in quarter number 3. Wilkins will take it himself, but he turned the ball over with a walk violation.
The Knicks have to be very careful here, Pete. They're getting a little stagnant. They're starting to go one-on-one a little bit too much. They'd better be very careful or Boston's going to make a run on them.
Celtics have been cold from the floor. They're only 2 out of 7 from the field in this third quarter.
They are looking for somebody to take over. Now, who is it going to be? Is it going to be McHale, Bird, Parrish? It looks like it's going to be
to Cummings. Sending it back outside to Mark Jackson. Jackson still controlled the ball. Got it off to Wilkins with 5 seconds left on the clock. And Gerald Wilkins looking like brother Dominique on that move. He has 19.
What a play that was. Twisting layup, very difficult shot. The Knicks needed it.
Boston with a 1-point lead again with 6:45 remaining in the third quarter. Man, Gerald Wilkins.
Hey, Mom, Dominique taught me this move. Look at here. And look at the battle underneath between Cummings and McHale.
There you see the night Gerald Wilkins is having. He leads all scorers. It's a 1-point Boston lead. This crowd now trying to become a factor. Get the Celtics going. They've still been a little flat at the outset of this third quarter. Been able to maintain the lead, but just barely.
It's interesting what the Knicks have done. They've gone with Pat Cummings as opposed to Cartwright, and I thought Cartwright was probably the biggest factor in the first half.
There's McHale again, and you're right, Don. He's the man they're going to right now.
Very tough, very tough for Patrick to guard Kevin McHale down there in that low box.
A 3-point Boston lead. McHale now has 17 points, 7 of them in this third quarter. Wilkins trying to stay hot. Cummings pulled away the rebound. We got a loose ball foul.
Well, I'll tell you, Pat is trying to play big under there on the offensive board, though. He really made a lot of room for himself. Watch Pat Cummings there in your lower corner. Pushes McHale into Parrish. He tries to get the ball. He's playing the best that he can play.
Cummings has now been called for his 3rd foul, and he'll leave the game. Sidney Green checks back in for New York.
You know, when you foul like that, it's because of aggressive play. And I don't think Pat could give any more than he's giving.
There's an update on that Milwaukee-Atlanta game. The Hawks by 2 during the 4th quarter.
Here's pressure in the backcourt again by the Celtics. We expected the Knicks to be pressing all over, but it's been the Celtics with the aggressive defense.
Wilkins working against Bird. Sidney Green working against McHale. And Kevin McHale is going to be called for his 3rd foul.
That was a great call by Earl Strom. Kevin McHale was lazy on this play. You can see he let him catch in the paint, and now he's at a tremendous disadvantage. He's all over him. That has got to be called.
Johnny Newman inbounded the ball to Gerald Wilkins. Ewing and Parrish having quite a battle underneath. Bird slapped it back to Newman. Now Ewing works against Parrish along that baseline, and a good move by Patrick Ewing.
There's a young man that's 7 feet 1 inch tall and able to make a move like that on Robert Parrish.
It's a 3-point Boston lead. Ewing now at 14. Johnson trying to dish off underneath. Parrish gets it back out to Johnson. They've got 6 seconds left to shoot it. And we got a whistle. A loose ball foul is going to be called. Danny Ainge now in some trouble. That is his 4th.
It's aggressive play out there. This is going to be a great basketball game.
Boston by 3. A little over 5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Ewing over Parrish again. And the Knicks have found a way to deal with Boston for the moment. They just keep going to the big guy. 68-67 Celtics.
They went quite a long time, Pete, where they did not go inside to Ewing. Now Patino said, that's enough of that. Let's get the ball to the big guy.
Speaking of the big guy, Larry Bird almost made a miraculous shot there. He did draw the foul.
Here, little trivia. Who was the other guy that did it?
Rick Barry?
Larry Bird last year.
Oh. Okay. I just wanted to make Rick feel good. Bill Cartwright, who is back into the lineup. And Don, he's picked right up where he left off last time he came out of the game.
Well, I'm actually surprised that we haven't seen him sooner than this. He's playing as big as anybody on the court. And believe me when I say the best inside game in basketball is the Boston Celtics. I don't know that the Knicks are any weaker than the Celtics right now when they have Ewing and Cartwright playing together.
Cartwright completes the three-point play. He has 5, and we are tied at 70 with 4.5 minutes remaining, third quarter. Johnson working against Jackson. The Celtics having their hands full with these New York Knicks. McHale couldn't get that one to fall, and New York couldn't control the rebound. Both Wilkins and Green were over there, and it went off Green's fingertips, giving the ball back to Boston.
There's a bad break by the Knicks. Look at the energy in Patino. That is amazing. He gets his team sky high every single night out. What a job he's done this year.
Dennis Johnson's fall-away jumper is wide. Another loose ball picked up by Newman. Newman gets it off to Jackson. Knicks have a 4-on-1 to Johnny Newman.
Oh, what a basketball play. He didn't do the natural thing. He waited and did the sensational play. What a play by Jackson.
The New York Knicks have grabbed the lead on Newman's 4th point. 3:50 to go in this third quarter. Newman's going to be called for the foul. No basket.
There's Casey Jones again going inside to the mismatch. He sees a big-time mismatch with Bird trying to be played by a smaller man, and he goes right to it.
Here's another look at that 4-on-1 breakdown.
Take a look at this sensational play by the rookie. Under control the entire way. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Bird making it 72-71. The Knicks by 1. With 3.5 minutes to go. New York 10 out of 14 from the field in this quarter. Boston's only 3 out of 11. And Bill Cartwright hits another one. He has 7.
There's our man again.
Johnson takes it himself. Johnson now with 12. It's a 1-point New York lead. A little over 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Newman from 3-point territory won't go for it. And now the Celtics can reclaim the lead. And this crowd is really into it.
If you live by that long three-pointer early in your offense, you may die by it.
Johnson. The tip is good, and the foul.
I'll tell you, the Celtics at this time are saying, let's do it now. Let's not wait till the fourth quarter. They see an opportunity here, and they're going to take advantage of it. Be careful, Knicks.
Green called for his third. Correction, foul was called on Cartwright, not on Green. It's Cartwright's second. Johnson, who has 12 points. And he's made 6 out of 6 from the free throw line. I think there's
Slam dunk. Patrick Ewing ahead of the field throws down a vicious slam dunk. Another Gatorade slam dunk.
He had a position, but all of a sudden with one dribble he makes a sensational move around Parrish moments ago. Now Dennis Johnson expressing what leadership is all about. Going into the basket, becoming more and more of a factor in this game, and Kevin McHale with an outstanding follow tip in.
And that's what Rick Pitino was so upset about. He preferred having McHale, since they announced the basket was being credited to McHale. He prefers McHale, who's about a 7.
You've got to hold tight here, Knicks. You have to be very careful. They're giving Ewing a little blow right here, and things are not running very smooth for the Knicks right now.
Gerald Wilkins working against Paxson. He takes it himself into the paint, can't get it to fall. Larry Bird pulls the rebound off the floor, gives it off to Paxson. Johnson and McHale have been big parts of this Celtic third quarter. Larry Bird might be starting to warm up now. He has 21.
They need somebody to step forward, and who did it? Larry Bird again.
Boston by 4, 2:14 to go, third quarter. Down low to Cartwright. Newman open. Boston trying to pull away a little bit here. They can open up their biggest lead of the night. Kevin McHale, no. Cartwright doing a good job there defensively.
Another big play by Cartwright. You know, I think Johnny Newman is a little tight tonight. Somehow we have got to get him an easy basket or he's going to struggle. Maybe this is it. That'll work fine if he can just make.
Night, 8:05 here on the Superstation. Newman cannot get one to fall. He's now 2 out of 9 from the field. And Boston can open up their biggest lead here. 50 seconds remaining, third quarter. Five seconds left on the shot clock. They better hurry. Dennis just to get it off.
Yes, they got it off just at the buzzer. What a big, big play.
15 points for Dennis Johnson. Boston's lead is 7 points. That's the biggest lead they've had tonight.
That can break the back of a team when you play such good defense and get burned right at the buzzer.
Cartwright over Parrish. Nope. Another Boston rebound. Celtics are beginning to pull away. 7 seconds remaining in the quarter. Larry Bird working against Newman. Couldn't get it to fall. Cartwright a rebound, but that's going to end quarter number 3. Kenny Walker, Trent Tucker, and the rookie Mark Jackson complete the New York 5 on the court. McHale, Paxson, Parrish, Minifield, and Bird for the Celtics. And here we go, final quarter and game 1 of this best-of-5 series from the Boston Garden. Minifield, Paxson, back to Minifield. He's double teamed. Gets it away to McHale. Back out to Paxson. Look at that passing. With just 4 seconds left on the shot clock. McHale the rebound. Won't go for him. New York gets a rebound. Sidney Green.
Parrish was wide open. Kevin missed him, but Paxson tried to make a great pass and almost accomplished it.
They give it to Patrick. Back outside to Mark Jackson. He's going to try it from 3-point territory, and he missed everything.
There's that 3-point shot again. You shoot it quick on the clock. You're going to live and die by it.
So Boston up by 7. A chance to make it a 9-point edge here.
You know, the Knicks have got to shoot the ball from the outside, and I understand the theory of the 3-point shot. Dirk Minifield is in the game, and he's about the only Celtic who can put pressure full court on Jackson.
Ewing gets it back out to Jackson. Jackson kind of changed his shot at the last minute. It cost him, but Ewing gets it back, working underneath against Parrish, and he couldn't get it to fall. Parrish the rebound.
That's the first time Parrish did not go for Ewing's up fake. He didn't go for 2 of them, and Ewing missed the shot.
Celtics up by 9, 10.5 minutes remaining in the game.
Come on.
Patrick Ewing causing Robert Parrish all kinds of problems there.
Ewing has really been a factor in shot blocking tonight. He has more blocked shots than the whole front line of Boston put together. McHale, Parrish, and Bird.
Ewing finished 3rd in the NBA regular season in block shots behind Keaton and Benoit Benjamin.
Well, there's something different. They're posting Jackson up against Minifield. That ought to be something different.
Now with 9 points, Boston a 7-point lead. 9:55 to go. Dennis Johnson getting ready to check back into the game for the Celtics. McHale over Green. Ewing, we're going to call goaltending.
I don't believe Patrick had to touch that shot. I thought that shot was short. He probably just should have let it go. Not take it above the rim, but take it below the rim. Let's see if this is even going to draw iron. I don't think so. It
21
like
now for McHale. Into Sidney Green. Operating over McHale. McHale with a block on a recovery. Kevin McHale has been a big factor for the Celtics here in the second half.
Since the foot injury, Kevin has not been as active defensively or in the shot blocking part of the game. That was a big block by him there.
Parrish, after Ewing went for the fake, scores his 4th steal by Dennis Johnson. The Celtics were 36-5 during the regular season here in the Garden. They won their last 7 games of the regular season at home. They and the Lakers Lakers had the best home records. Kevin McHale has taken this game over. 23 points for McHale. A 13-point Boston lead. Walker. Parrish the rebound. Celtics controlling things on both ends.
That was a nice play by the Knicks.
There's a better one by Boston. Quick three-pointers.
Going to be a little different on that shot now. Before they didn't need the three. Now they're going to start to really need it. We'll see if the pressure applies.
The block shot. The Celtics have it back. McHale blocked it. Parrish pulled it away.
Boston has really jammed the inside up now. The Knicks have not been able to hit that open shot. They're going to have to do it because the Celtics ain't nothing inside right now.
Parrish to Bird. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Paxson drew the foul.
More than a collision.
7:40 the time left in the game. Boston leading it by 15. Game 1 in the best-of-5 series. New York has scored only 2 points in this quarter, but Kenny Walker gets his 6th point and put the Boston lead back down to 13. Paxson to McHale. 25 points for Kevin McHale. The Celtics by 15.
But a play was made by Jimmy Paxson. Here was a guy that they couldn't find any playing time for the Portland Trailblazers, and yet he's been a great factor in the game tonight.
Paxson again on the block from behind, and he finishes the other end. McHale's tip. The Celtics are pulling away, and the New York Knicks are running out of time. 6:57 remaining. Timeout, New York. It is all Boston. They've outscored the Knicks since then. 14-4 in this quarter. And the Celtic break, a big part of it, along with that defense. Another New York turnover.
This is not the time for the Knicks to turn the ball over, obviously. They not only have to keep possession, they have to score on every possession now.
Johnson working against Tony. Dennis Johnson won't get the basket, but they're going to call the foul on Kenny Walker.
And there's another great up fake. I'm telling you, you young kids who are watching this game tonight, you make sure that in your game that you develop an up fake. Without it, you can't hardly exist in the game. There's Dennis Johnson. Show him the ball. Use your dribble. Take it to the hole. Get me 3 points. Yes, Dennis Johnson. But yet he's staying right up with fast players.
16 now for Dennis Johnson. An 18-point Boston lead. You saw Mark Jackson has checked back in, replacing Tony. Kenny Walker has 8.
A great move by Mihalik under the basket on a sliding stop.
But the Celtics still very much in control of this thing. 97-81. The Knicks really need a big run here if they're going to get back in it.
There's a guy, Rick Pitino. He'll never give up. He's going to battle the whole night long.
McHale to Bird. Bird from long range. Yes.
I wouldn't give Larry Bird an open shot if I were the Knicks. You can give somebody else one, but I wouldn't give Larry Bird an open one.
He now has 27. Celtics leading it by 18. Walker. And the rebound pulled away by Bird.
There's the lack of outside shooting by the Knicks. There's not a whole lot they can do with it to try to improve on it, maybe through the draft. But they have to do the best they can do right now. They're playing one of the great SAG defenses of all time, the Boston Celtics.
Green called for the personal. Celtics have it. Bird down to McHale against the New York press, which hasn't stopped the Celtics in the second half. Boston up by 18. 5.5 minutes to go in the game.
We really haven't seen the New York Knicks press as yet. That was a poor imitation of it. When they really want to get after you, they can get after you. They're going to have to do that pretty soon.
Bird into Johnson. Tried to hit McHale underneath. And the Celtics turn it over. Atlanta up by 1 game in that best-of-5 series in Milwaukee. Still only the 9th Boston turnover, by the way.
It's still going to be a great series, though, that Atlanta-Milwaukee series.
Gerald Wilkins now with 21. And now we're going to see that New York press. But the short, crisp passes that beat it is something that the Celtics do so well. Kevin McHale.
Well, if you're going to press, let's press. Let's not let Kevin McHale take 4 dribbles and score an easy basket without double teaming him.
29 points now for McHale. 101-83. Some great defense being played by the Celtics in the second half.
Yes, and that was Kenny Walker's fault. He should have been in a position to score that quicker. You see the slow gather. He's too far away from the basket. By the time he gathers, there's the shot blockers all over him.
Green sits down now for the New York Knicks. Johnny Newman checks back in.
McHale's presence on the shot block tonight has been as good as I've seen it all season.
There you see the run the Celtics are on. Johnny Newman has struggled tonight. Only 2 of 9 from the field. Another Knick turnover.
Yes, he's not played with much confidence tonight. He's got to get that out of his system. I think he should probably have a talk with Rick Pitino and just say, hey, look, play your best. Don't worry about anything. Go out there and be positive.
Boy, Johnson almost guilty of carrying it there. Roberts, who's checked back in for Boston. Nice pass underneath the Paxson by Robert Perry.
Jimmy Paxson was one of our great players for many years. He's an older player now. He has found new life with the Boston Celtics, like so many people before him.
Paxson now with 10 points. We've got 4 minutes remaining in the game. Boston up by 20. Mark Jackson gets into double figures. That's only the 10th point of the half by New York.
Here's the press. Let's see how serious they are and how the Celtics handle it. They're toying with it. They're spreading it. They're patient. Nice job, Celtics.
There's the turnover.
Got it anyway.
Steal by Jackson. They have a break going, and Dennis Johnson fouls Mark Jackson.
Very wise foul. So he's one of our brighter players
in this 4th quarter. 8 minutes and 26 into it. Newman got that one to go. Under the foul.
If that could have happened for this young man in the first quarter instead of the 4th quarter, he may have been a factor tonight. Unfortunately, it's just too late for him for tonight.
103-87. Second team foul against the Celtics. Newman was 1 for 2 from the line. Good free throw shooter during the regular season, 84%.
You know, I hope Rick lets Johnny Newman play the rest of the game, because it might pay big benefits for the next ball game. If he can gain some momentum from this point on, it might help him tomorrow.
He was called for the foul. I was reading an article today about the Celtics and how they plan to deal with Rick Pitino's pressing style of defense, and I thought the best quote in the article I read was Kevin McHale when he said, well, you know, we do have an offense to beat a press. I guess you must have if you're going to win 57 ball games during the regular season.
That's right. And Boston, of course, is a very intelligent basketball team. They pass the ball very well. They spread it. They know how to beat it. But what we haven't seen is the press right there. There's a Artis Gilmore rebound, big-time rebound. That's what he's got to do for him. He's got to go get the ball. He's got to block a shot. He doesn't have to score a whole lot, but just take advantage of opportunities when they come.
They go. And remember that big first half rebounding advantage New York had?
Yes.
It's going to be that way in the second half.
I don't believe it's going to be close the second half.
The Celtics have really controlled the boards in quarters 3 and 4.
You know, part of the reason that the Celtics are not a good offensive rebounding team, they're one of the worst in the league, was the fact that they shot over 50% from the field. So there's not a lot of offensive rebounds. But it is a part of their game, although there aren't a lot of offensive rebounds that they can improve upon.
See how Larry Bird tipped that ball out to Johnson?
There's the mismatch. Look at how the Celtics are extending. They're trying to get an illegal defense. They could call it if they wanted to right now, but he's just taking his time. There's Paxson without the ball and another score. Boy, what a factor this young man is going to be for the Celtics.
Paxson now with 12. Boston up by 19. Newman trying from 3. Another Boston rebound. It's Paxson pulling it down.
I'll guarantee you that the Celtics will be taking their time now, every single time down the court, unless they have something awful good.
Controlling the tempo. Again, they isolate Bird and Newman.
They're going to make New York double team him, or he's just going to hold it till he scores.
Puts the shot up over Newman. Wouldn't fall for him. Walker pulls away the rebound. Less than 2 minutes to play now. Boston with a 19-point lead.
tell you, I think you better give the Knicks credit, though. They really did come to play. They got beat in the fourth quarter and part of that third, but they came with a tremendous game plan. I think their best team is when Cartwright and Ewing play together. I think that is really a dynamite team against the Celtics.
Wilkins now at 24 points, 107-91. A minute 28 remaining.
You know, when we talk about the player of the game, you could give it to almost anybody. What do you?
109-91. Bird with 29.
You know, Bird has been awful good tonight. Dennis Johnson has been a star in my eyes. But I think probably
Getting some playing time now. Cartwright sends it back outside to Cedric Toney, who hit 3 of those in the first half, but nothing falling for the Knicks in the second half. 109-91.
Here we see Louis Orr for the first time. Very proud player that's been riddled with injuries over his career. Keep hustling, Knicks. That's the way. Keep trying. Don't give up on him.
Celtics have all the kids in there. Lewis, Akers, and Lowhouse, now Dirk Minifield. And one guy who you can't call a kid anymore, Artis Gilmore. Lewis had a shot blocked, but we get a whistle.
Well, I'll tell you, nobody ever.
110-91. San Antonio Spurs, Los Angeles Lakers. Coming up next, Skip Carey, Steve Jones standing by to bring you that one from the Forum. As the waning moments of this game. Lewis, Lowhouse.
Nice play by 2 kids that haven't gotten a lot of time. Very nice.
Lowhouse, his first playoff points.
How about those Iowa guys? Maybe MVP for Lowhouse. What do you think? Go you Hawkeyes.
Lewis Orr and all kinds of traffic through the foul.
There's a little 2-2-1. Trying to get a steal. Keep hustling, Knicks. That's the way.
Minifield lost the ball. Going to go back to New York. The time has just about run out here on the Knicks. And the Boston Celtics will be 1 up in this best-of-5 series. Wilkins tipped by Cartwright, and there's the ball game.
Still a great game.
The Boston Celtics had to struggle in the first half, had to struggle for about 9 minutes of the third.